Hello, book lovers, and welcome back to my little corner on the internet. I'm Kiki, and it's lovely to have you here. So, I we are halfway through the year now, right? I am going to probably make a separate video on like a little half year check-in. Is not going great. Spoiler alert, right? But if you've seen any of my more recent videos, or any of my last videos really, you know it's not going great. So, I was thinking, what should I do for my TBR in July, right? Because reading my TBRs lately it just hasn't been working out, you know? I either don't read, or I grab different books, or I don't even know, honestly. Mostly I think I've just not been reading too much. I mean, to be fair, the other day I binged a whole fan fiction again. Haven't been reading much of that either lately, so is not fan fiction's fault. But I don't think I've read a singular book of my June TBR. So my thoughts were English isn't Englishing. So my thoughts were, why not go back through all of my TBRs that I've set myself so far this year and use July, potentially August, and try to finish all of the books I've had on my TBRs so far this year that I haven't finished yet or I haven't picked up yet. You get the gist, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be picking any new fun books, although I have many, and although I will definitely be picking up different ones as well, because sometimes I need to read different ones again before I can read the ones that are on my TBR. But overall, the ones that are truly on my TBR are going to be the ones that I will be showing you in a second. Now, mind you, I don't know how many books I have, so I'm gonna count them up in a corner or something. So I actually know, because this is gonna be terrifying. Yeah, right. Okay, so let's start. Please tell me I haven't started a different book that I'm currently forgetting. No, okay, wonderful. Let's start with the two books that I am currently reading that I'm taking with me into July. Now, The Final Gambit is still paused. I am going to try to sort of either finish or DNF that this month as well. However, these are the two books that I physically own that I have started. One being How to Kill a Witch, a guide for the patriarchy by Claire Mitchell and Zoe Venditozzi. My bad. And I am almost done with this now. Lovely. And this is one of the books that I've actually bought this year, and I'm so proud of myself for actually picking it up. Now, with my actual goals, I technically need to, but we're gonna ignore those for now. Anyway, so this, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be finishing today. On that note, for any American peeps, happy 4th of July. I am going to be posting this later than the 4th, because today is the 4th. And to any Swifties out there, we have something to celebrate as well. No, sorry. I'm so happy. And that's all I'm going to say. Congratulations, and that's all I'm going to say. So this has been quite intriguing. It has given me quite a lot to think about for my own writing as well, and that makes me really happy. And I am actually really happy that I'm finally learning a little bit about the witch hunts in Europe, especially Scotland as well, because this is something that is mentioned in this book as well. Salem sort of became the poster boy, so to speak, of the witch hunts. And as horrifying as it was, the incarceration and death toll at Salem it's kind of nothing compared to what happened in the UK and Scotland specifically. So if you are interested in the witch hunts, honestly, I can recommend. Now that's book 1 that I'm currently reading. Book 2 I'm currently reading is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and this is a reread, mind you. But I realized that I need to reread this duology so I can finally pick up. I forgot that all of my books that I haven't read yet are on the shelves wrong, so I can't see the title. You know, the Foul Lady Fortune duology and the 2 little novellas, short stories, whatever they are, in Last Violent Call that sort of tie in with these. I'm about halfway through. I really like the story. I especially enjoy Roma and Juliet. Big surprise. And yeah, this is something that I can beautifully just listen to while I do other things, because I've read it before and this is more of a refresh so I can go into the next story. Okay. Now, I'm gonna quickly go through my June TBR again. Honestly, to remind all of us what was on there, given that I haven't touched it. I actually feel so bad about this now. Anyway, okay. I've got The Iliad by Homer. And translated by Emily Wilson. Very important. Then we've got Bladebreaker by Victoria Aveyard, which is the second book in the Realmbreaker trilogy. After I finished Realmbreaker, I was like, I need to read the next one immediately, and I still haven't picked it up. I don't understand how my brain works. I've got The Sun and the Star by Rick Riordan, which I'm so excited about. I still haven't picked it up. Again, my brain is interesting. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna... I feel so... Honestly, given that most of these books have been on my TBR for so long, I generally feel bad, especially because a lot of these have been on my TBR over and over and over again. At this point, I'm like, should I just not read them? But I really, really want to read them. I'm just stupid. I did manage to pick up Night of Flames by A.K. Faulkner, so I really do need to do that now. Honestly, I'm gonna need August to finish all of this as well, because this is just a tiny fraction. Moby-Dick. Honestly, I think I'm avoiding this, which is hilarious because I chose this for a book I've been avoiding. I just need to start it and then figure out if I get along with the writing. If I do, beautiful. I might just listen to the rest and not even physically read it. If I don't vibe with it, I can just DNF it and be done with it. But no, my brain is refusing. I've got the second One True Queen still by Jennifer Benkau, and it's a second in a duology. I finished this. I'm done with the series. Why am I not reading this? Then I've got Gedenkermine by Gry Kappel Jensen, second book in the Rosenholm duology. I am intrigued to see how the story continues. And these books are gorgeous. Like, it's just truly, truly gorgeous. And I don't understand my brain. Like, anyway. We've got Emily Seymour, Totenbeschwörung für Anfänger, which is the first, which is necromancy for beginners. Yeah, gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful, want to read it. Crown and Creature, which is technically the first in a duology. I don't own the second book. I don't even know if I want to read this still, actually. I am going to do my best. I'm going to start it. Maybe I'll vibe with it. If not, it's fine. I got this at like a charity thing. If I don't feel like reading it again, like if I don't feel like actually reading it, I'll just put it back on the pile, because you can donate your books, and then they sell them, and they sell them for cheaper than what you would, have to pay. And it's for a good cause. So I'll just put it back there and be like, well, if I like it, wonderful. If I don't, that's fine. The third Kathy Reichs books in the Temperance Brennan series, Lass Knochen sprechen, which in English is called Je ne sais pas. Deadly Decisions. No! That is actually kind of disappointing, because something I really like about the titles of these books is that a lot of the time, the original title is a mix between English and French, because part of it is set in Montreal and another part is set in Charlotte, I believe, or like some of it is in Quebec and the other part is in like the US, because I think it's not just Carolina, but anyway, so it's like the first, I think, is called Death du Jour, and I love that. Okay, I think that was my July TBR. So now let's look at all of the other books that I haven't read that I should have read. Air Awakens. That was like I kind of put that on my TBR, but more of a, I'm gonna finish that, and then I never did. I am going on vacation for 2 weeks at the end of July, so I'm really excited for that. And 1 week of that, I can realistically read quite a bit. And I think I'm saying this. I'm gonna try to definitely read Air Awakens then, and potentially The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea, because I do have the ebook from Libby for this as well, so I wouldn't have to take the physical book with me. Also, this seems like a very summery, summer vacation vibey book, if you get me. So I feel like, also I'm going to the ocean, so it makes sense, I can play pirate. No. Yeah, so I have that. The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Dukuda Hall. Air Awakens by Elise Kova. Also, I made myself a new little background thingy for my Kindle, and I'm actually kind of obsessed. Not gonna lie. I've got Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, now that the fourth book is going to be coming out soon. I can finally read it. However, I do need to read the first two books again before I can read this, so add those to the mental TBR. I've got Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, which is the first of the Last Hours trilogy. However, I do want to see if I can read the Mortal Instruments. The Infernal Devices, reread those before reading that, because then I'll be reading it in chronological order, and then I'll just reread the Mortal Instruments and read the Dark Artifices. I never know how to pronounce that freaking word, as well, and I'll just listen to those before I can finally get my hands on the edition that I want. Okay. I've got Saeculum, that's Latin. I don't know Latin. By Ursula Poznanski, which is a thriller and a German book. Now, I'm thinking that I might start this before my vacation to see if I want to take this with me, because I feel like a thriller could be fun to read in the summer on vacation. Should be relatively fast-paced. I don't have an audiobook for this because there's no full-length audiobook, and I could thriller someone. No, just kidding. Then I also have The Court of Miracles by Casta Grant, which is a historical fantasy, I think. It is definitely set in the French Revolution, 1828. Yeah. And also, I've technically started it before, and then I got like 16 pages in, which is after the first chapter, and then I was like, not the vibe right now. Now, Vortex, Der Tag, an dem die Welt zerriss by Anna Benning, which is the first in a trilogy. If you've watched my TBRs so far this year, you will have seen all of these anyway, so I'm not gonna... I honestly don't even know what half of these are about at this point. We've got Immortal Beloved, the second book by Kate Tiernan. In German, it's called Ersehnt. Don't ask me what it's called in English. Yeah, and I'm just happy that I don't need to reread the first book again, because at this point, I know it by heart. Another book that scares me to death is The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It's gorgeous. This is something I need to read at home. I cannot take this with me on vacation. First of all, I'd be terrified of like breaking it because it's so pretty, and second, it's too heavy. I don't want to do that. Nope. Got Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Bully, and I feel like we've all seen this. Most of us have probably read it. I have not. Hence TBR. And then last but not least, The Hand of the Sun King by J.T. Greathouse. And when that was on my TBR, I was like, oh my god, this is so my vibe. I don't remember why. It's so bad. Anyway, I am actually going to count how many books that is real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm including the ones that I'm currently still reading. 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. If I manage this in July, mind you, I have 0 time the first 2 weeks of July. Anyway, if I manage even like 50 or 75% of this, I can be proud of myself. And then we'll see with the rest. I have other books that I also kind of need and want to read. We will see. Honestly, we will see. This is me now properly challenging myself to finish these. I am going to go upstairs now and finish How to Kill a Witch. Then I'm gonna get going on some of my other to-dos, some of which I can listen to an audiobook to while doing them. So I'm gonna maybe potentially finish These Violent Delights. I always mix up the titles today as well, and then I pretty much have a fresh start. What I'm going to do, depending on when I will finish These Violent Delights, I'm gonna see if I just pick up The Final Gambit where I left off, and see if I'm actually interested in finishing it, or if that whole situation just pisses me off too much to finish. And then DNF, which would be so incredibly disappointing because I loved the first 2 books and I loved the Natural series. I don't want to have to DNF this book. But honestly, if I realize it's really not my thing, then it's not my thing, and that is fine. Okay, I hope I didn't forget a book. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so dead. That's fine. That's okay. I wanted to say, oh, that's fine. I have time in August, but also, like, not the whole of August. Now I'm rambling and procrastinating, so I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna be done. You know what I want to read in July? It's what I've been wanting to read since the beginning of the year. But we got this. Thanks for watching. Bye.